Welcome to Keats Theater. Today, the battle of the gossip columnists. Former silent actress Hedda Hopper turned gossip queen, and her arch rival, Louella Parsons. Hope you enjoy.
This is Hedda Hopper reporting to you from Hollywood, that fabulous place where everyone wants to live but seldom does. Hollywood, whose celebrities were discovered in Centerville, who live in Beverly Hills, work in Culver City, and play in Palm Springs.
There were two gossip mongers that terrorized Hollywood for several decades, namely Hedda Hopper, who was initially a silent screen actress, and Louella Parsons, the original gossip queen, who began reporting in Chicago around 1910. I highly recommend Hedda and Louella, the 1972 book by George Eales, as well as the Wikipedia biographies of both women. Hedda Hopper was born Elda Furry on May 2, 1885. Years later, an astrologist convinced her to change her first name to Hedda, the surname Hopper coming from her first and only husband, actor DeWolf Hopper, who she called Wolfie. She was the fifth in his series of wives, and since Wolfie remained an incurable womanizer, it ultimately led the couple to divorce court, but not before the birth of their son. Son William Hopper eventually became well known for his role as Detective Paul Drake in the Perry Mason television series. Hedda Hopper was a successful silent actress specializing in society lady roles. Yet with the coming of sound, public tastes had changed, as well as the parts she was being offered. Many attribute the actress's lack of fame to her tall stature, while others blame it on her exceedingly prudish behavior. It was, after all, the era where leading ladies were petite as well as eager to advance by reclining on the proverbial casting couch. And Hedda was a disappointment in both departments. Louella Ottinger Parsons was born August 6, 1881. Her initial two marriages ended in divorce, but her first had produced a daughter, Harriet, who went on to become a successful film producer. Parsons' third marriage was to Dr. Harry Martin, a urologist subspecializing in venereal diseases, who she affectionately referred to as Docky. Docky became physician to the stars at 20th Century Fox Studio due to his wife's influence. The frequently inebriated Docky was infamous for his off-color practices, rumored to include medical services for swanky Hollywood brothels, dispensing vitamins laced with synthetic testosterone, as well as assisting that occasional starlet in trouble. Rival columnist Hedda Hopper often called Docky "that damn clap doctor," just to annoy Parsons, who would become enraged at hearing the slur. Early in Louella Parsons' career, the ambitious and savvy reporter wanted to reach the top, which at the time was the prestigious William Randolph Hearst newspaper conglomerate. So she lavishly praised actress Marion Davies' performance in her 1922 release, When Knighthood Was in Flower. In the very same article, she sternly reprimanded Hearst for complaining of the cost to his Cosmopolitan Pictures studio. Hearst had created Cosmopolitan Pictures to produce the films of Marion Davies, his young protégée, which was a polite way of saying mistress at the time. After reading Louella's column, Hearst met with her and promptly offered her a job as head of the entertainment department at his New York American newspaper. Louella Parsons was reporting on Hollywood from New York City, so she often enlisted actress Hedda Hopper for the latest gossip about fellow thespians, and in return praised Hopper's performances in her column. When Parsons finally made the move to Hollywood, and Hopper became frustrated with her lack of star status, their mutual arrangement changed. In 1935, when Hedda was offered the opportunity to write a gossip column, she accepted and found that she was ideally suited for the role. Reporting came naturally to the trained actress, who had a keen sense of the theatrical. Hedda relished appearing in one of the ostentatious hats from her vast hat collection. Louella bristled at the new competition, and the two began their legendary, decades-long feud. The curtain fell first for Louella Parsons. On June 24, 1951, her beloved Docky passed away, and on August 14th of the same year, publisher William Randolph Hearst followed. Parsons began visibly slowing down and started to receive awards and accolades from her peers who sensed the inevitable. Hedda, still full of vitality, had outlasted the ailing Louella, who in 1964 turned over her column to longtime assistant Dorothy Manners. Then Hedda Hopper, alone at the top and only 4 years younger, began her own plunge into the nightmare of old age. Strangely, Hedda Hopper was the first to succumb from pneumonia on February 1st, 1966, while Louella Parsons languished on until her death on December 9th, 1972 from arteriosclerosis. It was the end of an era, and Hollywood has never been quite the same. Thankfully.
I think that this newsreel is very important because it brings to the people who are not in or of the motion picture business a very good picture, a very clear picture of our people at work, at play, and in their many war charities. It has such a definite mission of goodwill that I hope that many more years, at least 25 more years.